In scientific research, it is always necessary to perform a literature review of existing scientific literature pertaining to your chosen subject. The literature can be found in distinct types of scientific sources, such as scientific books, reviews, and articles. You will need these different types of sources at different times over the course of your research project. You can understand this by taking a look at this overview of the customary steps of a research project. To find inspiration for a subject, for example, you can reopen the textbooks of previous courses that interested you. Such scientific books can also provide you with insight into various subtopics, theories, and concepts related to a subject area. Some of the disadvantages of books are that they are not very detailed and that they don't necessarily contain the most recent insights. A review article is the quickest way to gain insight into the most recent state of affairs regarding the scientific research in a certain subject area. In such a review, a specialized and widely recognized expert presents an overview of the results of scientific research up to that point. He or she does this in a structured and critical manner. Usually, a review also includes a number of suggestions for future research. In order to perform a thorough literature review, you will inevitably need scientific articles, also known as research articles. This is the most important instrument scientists use to communicate about their research. In articles, you can read how they arrived at a research question, why this question is important, which data they have used to answer the question, how they have analyzed the data, and which results and conclusions the research has yielded. In this video, you will find out where to look for each of these types of scientific sources and how you can seek out the sources that are relevant to your particular research project. Let's begin with books. The best way to access scientific books is via the University Library Catalogue, which can be found online at lib.ugent.be. The homepage of Ghent University Library contains a search bar where you can type one or more search terms. Typing the search terms sustainable management, for example, into this search bar and pressing the enter key leads you to a results page. This list contains 4,270 search results. Obviously, that is too high a number of results to evaluate one by one and to judge their relevance to your research. Therefore, you will need to focus or refine your search to reduce the number of results to a more manageable amount. There are several ways to achieve this. You can add search terms. You can place quotation marks around your search terms, and you can use the built-in refinement options. We will briefly demonstrate these three possibilities. We'll start off with the first one, adding search terms. What happens when you add extra search terms to the search bar? Intuitively, you might think that adding search terms will yield more search results. That is not the case because of the way the search engine operates internally. The search engine uses a so-called AND operator to combine the given search terms. Sustainable management then is interpreted as sustainable and management. As a result, only those sources which are located in the cross-section of the two sets will be selected. The source must contain both search terms. It's easy to see that this cross-section will be smaller than either set individually. Adding another search term, say tourism, will yield a list of results which is smaller still. The results page now contains not 4,270 results as before, but only 202. A second way to refine a search in the University Library Catalogue is to place the search terms in quotation marks. Only sources with the exact terms in that exact phrasing will then appear in the results list. For instance, placing the terms sustainable management in quotation marks yields 335 search results. Again, this is a substantial reduction of the 4,270 results from the original search without quotation marks. The third way to refine a search in the University Library Catalogue is to use the built-in refinement options. These are shown on the left-hand side of the results page. One of these options is document type. Here you can select book. The number in brackets denotes the total number of each document type in the results list. The results list is automatically updated upon selecting one of the options. Another possibility is to refine by access. Two types of books are available. On the one hand, there are physical paper books on a library shelf, and on the other hand, there are books which provide the full text online. The blue button on the right clarifies which type of book it is. Next to physical books, you can see services, while online books display View Online. When you click View Online, you are redirected to an external web page on the publisher's website. Here, the full text is made available, often in PDF format. Note that you need access rights to view the full text, otherwise you will end up at a paywall. When you click on Services next to another book, you are redirected to the record of that book. A record is a unique page on the University Library website containing bibliographic information on a particular source. The record contains the exact location of this book, i.e. the faculty library where it is located, as well as the location on the shelf in that library. Often, the record will also provide you with a table of contents and a short summary of the book. Other refinement options in the results list are date, faculty, and language. Both reviews and articles are published in scientific journals. On the University Library website, you can look for individual journals to which Ghent University has access. However, it is strongly recommended that you do not search for reviews and articles in this way. Searching on a journal-by-journal basis is too cumbersome and time-consuming. A much better way to query scientific journals is to use scientific databases. These allow you to search for search terms across many journals and publishers all at once. You can consult scientific databases via the University Library website by clicking Databases at the top of the page. Here you will find links to the scientific databases Web of Science and Scopus, among others. Clicking the link redirects you to the database, in our case the Web of Science homepage. When you enter the search terms Sustainable Management into the search bar and you press Enter, you arrive at a results page. This particular search, however, yields over 78,000 sources. Obviously, that is too high a number. Web of Science provides many options to narrow your search to relevant sources. Many of these options can be found on the home page. Click Search in the top left-hand corner to return to that home page. We will apply two small modifications to the previous search. Firstly, we will enter the same search terms as before, but now with quotation marks. Secondly, we will select Title from the drop-down menu instead of Topic. This search will only yield sources in which the exact phrase Sustainable Management appears in the title. The results list is still quite long, but the number of sources is clearly evolving in the right direction. There are many more refinement options on the home page. For example, you can search for sources from a particular year or set of years. You can add search bars using the Add Row button. You can combine these search bars using the Boolean operators and, or, and not. In the drop-down menu on the right, there are other options besides topic and title. For example, author, publication name, and document type. That last option allows you to search specifically for either reviews or articles. First, remove all document types and make a selection from the list. There are many different document types in this list, but most will be of limited use. We've seen that the Web of Science homepage offers many refinement options. Let us now take a closer look at the results page. On the left-hand side, you can find more or less the same refinement options as before. Year of publication, document type, authors, and journal titles. Suppose you have performed a search, but now you decide that you are only interested in reviews. Simply click Review under Document Type and click Refine. One additional option, which is not found on the home page, enables you to refine by subject area. This can be done under Web of Science categories. Apparently, your current search produces many sources from subject areas not directly linked to economics or business management. Click More Options Values, select the relevant subject areas, and scroll down to click Refine. This redirects you to a new results list. The 82 results are listed across 9 pages. By default, they are sorted by date, with the most recent sources found at the top of the list. You can choose to sort the list by times cited. This is an index which tracks the number of times this source has been referenced in more recent sources. For example, since October of 2009, 139 sources have been published which reference the first source on this list. A high value for this citation index could indicate the importance and quality of that source. If you want to find out more about the contents of this source, you can click on View Abstract. This provides you with a short summary of the source. Once you've decided that a source is worth examining in detail, you can find the full text using the SFX button. Note that there are a few exceptions. Ghent University does not have access to all scientific journals. If you want more detailed information, you can click the title to visit the record. Here you can see, among other things, that this source is an article. In addition, there are a number of clickable links. These give you the opportunity to use this article as a starting point for applying the so-called snowball method of searching. This method entails that you use information from one interesting and relevant source to quickly find more. By clicking these links, you perform new searches. For example, clicking an author's name initiates a new search for all sources of this author in Web of Science. A little lower, a number of keywords are shown, which can also be clicked to perform a new search. Times cited can be used in the same way. If this source is relevant to your own research, it is highly likely that the list of 139 more recent sources will contain at least some which are equally relevant. Finally, the snowball method can also be applied using the cited references. That is the list of sources referenced by this source in the reference list. If this source is relevant to you, there are probably other relevant sources among the 32 older sources. Lastly, we will go over some tools in Web of Science which are designed to facilitate the process of searching relevant scientific literature. Searching such literature is not a one-time activity. Over the course of your research project, you will need to browse scientific databases regularly. It is inevitable that after some time, you will forget which searches exactly have yielded good results. For this reason, there are several tools in Web of Science which enable you to structure and to automate the search. Note that you need a free account at Web of Science in order to utilize these tools. One option is to create a citation alert. This tool can be found in the record of any source. Once such a citation alert is in place, you will automatically receive weekly or monthly emails giving you an update of any new sources which reference this source. In other words, when the citation index of this source increases. Secondly, you can save your successful searches and receive weekly or monthly emails containing all newly published sources which match your search query. In other words, when the number of search results increases. The tool used for this purpose is called Create an Alert and can be found on the results page. A third instrument is called EndNote. This software package is specifically designed to manage all the scientific sources you have found to date, allowing you to keep track of them. At different times during your research project, you will need different types of scientific sources, such as books, reviews, and articles. Books can be found via the university library website. Reviews and articles are published in scientific journals, which can most easily be searched via scientific databases, such as Web of Science.